Welcome back to the Krown Crypto channel. It's a lovely Friday morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. Nice and bright and overcast outside. We got plenty of things to discuss on this live stream today. If you're watching this at a later time, this will be posted later within the American day, and we'll be going over, of course, the big high-term time frame closures that are coming in today for the weekly for CME and what that essentially means, and kind of setting the tone for the next probably for the next couple of weeks to come. Anyways, with that said, let's just jump right into it right in over here. We'll start off holy moly with a continuation of yesterday's analysis. So yesterday we were looking at first hidden bullish divergence come off of that last 6-hour low. That was about the time that the video was recorded, and Bitcoin did play out a nice move, a little bit more than $1,000 from 30,400 all the way up to 31,500 plus. So not bad right there. Soon after that, Bitcoin did get some bearish divergence on the other side. I did not make a video about it, obviously, but I did post on Twitter. I'm actually trying to be a lot more active there. I've started to realize and recognize the power of Twitter. So if you want some more intraday updates, that is the place that I'll be doing it. It's just so much easier to do, actually. Anyways, so yes, we got that. Bitcoin essentially playing out into the 4-hour HPDR range highs and range lows, as you can see right here, testing that range high. A little bit of wick above, that's fine. However, no closures above, aka no resolution, and then perfectly testing the bottom side of the range actually in the morning hours right here. So what is Bitcoin essentially doing, since we last spoke? Essentially playing out, the range, so to speak. But as you can see, Bitcoin is very, 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 very close to the bottom side of this range right here. And this is going to have major implications for several different time frames, actually, even if it breaks on like a 4-hour time frame. So that is still going to be 29,700. As long as Bitcoin's above, hopium for the Bulas remains alive. Hopium for the Bulas is still relevant, and we could very easily see reaccumulation plus a pushback above that critical region of 31,350. And if you do see a 4-hour closure above there, it'd be the same thing as before. Still looking for that move to 32,500. So that's essentially the range. Of course, if Bitcoin breaks to the downside, next area of interest would be somewhere down around about 28.7, so another $1,000 slide, probably an attempt for a bounce there, and then come back to it after that. I don't know if I'd necessarily call a full-on breakdown, for like a much more significant reversal just yet, even if that were to happen. Anyways, going back into it over here, I should denote that there is daily regular bearish divergence of one drive variety coming off that last high, as you do see. Bitcoin's already hit the 21 exponential on that move, so again, hitting the range lows plus the 21, have to be looking for a bounce here, which we're getting thus far. The major concerning thing for me as of right now, however, is the daily jewel continues with its downside curvature, still not supported by DMI. So that would be the that would still be more on the hopium side, I suppose. But it would imply that if we are going to see this one essentially pull itself through, that would have been the low, 29,700. Can it get retested again? Sure, but you definitely don't want to see a closure below there. Otherwise, open up the floodgates, likely for another $1,000 plus move to the downside, somewhere maybe around 28.5 to 28.7-ish region, and then maybe we could, maybe there'll be some hopium there. I don't necessarily know just yet. I'd want to come back and see it. Anyways, what I do want to speak about now, however, is a few major things. The 5-day time frame, which is not closing tonight, by the way, and let me just see if it's closing on CME. No, it's not closing on CME either. Is going to have potential regular bearish divergence as well if it does start to confirm a local high right here. That one's going to be closing in Sunday, actually. So let me just. Sunday or Monday, two days and 18 hours, so somewhere around there. I think it's Sunday, maybe it's Monday. Now, if this starts to confirm a local high, that's at the point where, yes, I would be looking for a much greater pullback. How would you confirm a local high right here? Need to close below about 29,500, this spike low that we did see in late June, actually. If you start to see that, then yes, I'd probably be looking for a much more prolonged pullback. Until then, it's a long time left to go, obviously. Now, what I want to get into as of this moment is, of course, the big closures for today, because today the weekly closes for CME, of course, and a few things of significant interest right here. The first and foremost thing is that if we look at the 3-week closure, which is going to be closing today for CME again, there is going to be potential. If I put on the Gaussian channel to close above the mean band. Right now, Bitcoin is trading on CME literally right at it, like literally on the fucking strike. It's at 30,375 is where the mean band is. Bitcoin CME is trading 30,370 actually, so it's $5 below, so it's wrecked actually. But if Bitcoin starts to, especially close decently above, that would be a damn good indication that this is going to be confirmed as the next higher low within a series of, of a couple higher lows. And I'd be looking for Bitcoin over the next 3 weeks to very likely march its way upwards and onwards into the deeper $30,000 territory. That would be probably the more obvious signal if it could happen today. But again, it's a long day left to go, 14 hours, 45 minutes, and 23 seconds. So if Bitcoin can do that, pretty damn good for the BULAs. If it can't, then do have to entertain the possibilities or the probabilities of a greater pullback. But for right now, I actually do still favor the BULAs in this case. At least for right now. Of course, on the 3-week RSI, there would be potential inverted head and shoulders right here, left shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, as you can see. I don't know what I was trying to do right there. Maybe just draw some bullshit, but in this case, we would have, the RSI would have a neckline right around the 54.5 mark right here. So let me just mark this off. As you can see, if the next 5 weeks starts to open above that, that would be another damn good indication alongside that mean band. If Bitcoin can close above that, we will see continuation, probably at least until the bullish control zone over here. So that would be, another couple weeks of likely upside. Of course, this is all coming within the context of expanding volatility from some of the lowest levels that we've seen on the 5-day here as well, especially for CME. So I do think that is of significant interest. And again, just going back to the where was it? Going back to the weekly, I do want to once again point out that on CME and on spot price action, Bitcoin did have that silver cross right in over here. So that is why I really do kind of hesitate to get much more bearish as of right now. Even though Bitcoin did play out to the range lows, that's fine. Just don't want to see a break of those range lows. That's where I'm really going to start to question if this is going to hold true or not. Until then, we do see the weekly jewel still with that upside curvature. It will have a chance at the end of today for CME to confirm that cyan read right there. And well, again, that's why I do say that today is a big closure. And of course, long term, anytime that we have seen that silver cross, especially on spot price action, because it has a lot more price action history, it's been a general good thing for the upside, much more prolonged upside. And it does suggest that corrective moves are likely to be higher lows. So we do see, I would say, one major, or do we even see it on this one? Actually, no. Yes, we do see one major trap based off this cross right here. That would be, again, the yellow 21 and the green 55. But even on this one, which did happen in 2019, and I would consider this a trap, Bitcoin did trade up. Okay, hold on. Let me do this properly. Bitcoin did trade up from the cross to the next major high of almost 60%. So, looking at it over here, even on a failure, which I would argue that this is a very good example of what should be a powerful cross as price actions kind of, coalesced around the cross itself. Probably isn't. I would look at that as unlikely to be a trap, actually. But looking at it right now, to put it into context, we've seen about a 22% move from that cross to where Bitcoin is at right now. So even on the on the only real failure that I can find for this time frame, that being the weekly, it still did get some pretty good lift off right there. So I would say that, again, that would be more on the side of the BULAs, obviously. Of course, going over here, I do want to once again go through, well, I mean, we kind of already went through the 4-hour HPDR ranges, but again, 29.7 to the downside versus 31.3 to the upside. Short term probably tries a bit more of a bounce here. Average of the range right around 30,550, same as yesterday. We can go ahead and check out Stochastic momentum, see what's going on as of right now. Hourly time frame is going to be pointed up, it looks like, as long as Bitcoin is above whatever loading screen I have right now. That's going to be $30,000 almost even. So right now trading about $300-400 above that current pivot. 4-hour time frame is going to be showing actually downside below 30,500. Bitcoin is currently trading about $200 below that. It is starting to get a little bit more in the critical zone here, but that would actually still be typically like a pretty bearish read. So I do think that Bitcoin has at least one more test of the lows. And the real question is, are we going to see a break of that or not? 6-hour time frame also headed down heavy there, I should add, below 30,700. 12-hour time frame also be showing heavy downside below 31,200, and daily is going to be showing fresh down below $31,000 again in the critical zone here. So if Bitcoin is going to break down, it might not happen today, but the actual move itself, it probably happened on Monday, but you can see, the medium and higher term timeframes really starting to align with each other now. So that would be the real chance. In the very, very short term, Bitcoin probably tries for a bit of a bounce. And then I'd be looking for next week to kind of open up. So many different things going on right there. Do I want to talk about Skeleton's key setups over here? I'll save that for another day, perhaps, or maybe we'll just do that on live stream because that'll be a little bit more wordy and a little bit more time intensive. But I think that'll do it for that video. I'll shut it off right there. As always, wish you the best. Take care, much love, and see you maybe even on the next live stream.